Hello, this is your captain speaking. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you on this ferry that will take you to Ungdomsøen for the final days of Young Europe is Voting. The ferry trip will take around 30 minutes. Now and shortly before we arrive, give you some practical information about the island you're about to visit.
So right now I'm on a boat to go to the Youth Island, where the Youth Summit will be, where 200 young Europeans will meet, 100 students from Danish folk high schools and 100 young Europeans from all over Europe. These past days we've been split out on 10 different folk high schools, where we've discussed 5 different topics. Each school has had their own topic, and then we've tried to come up with some visions and some calls for actions for the politicians, the future MEPs.
This person has come from a country where they don't feel safe. They travelled in a way that was not easy.
Trade should be made only with entities that respect human rights.
Revive the different institutions within the EU.
19% from the migrants from Albania actually claimed.
I joined this program because I think it's important that the youth gets involved and that EU is put on a level where it's not as high up, so to say, and far away in Brussels, but it's taken down to our everyday life, because that's where the EU actually is. We just don't talk about it.
Yeah, I think that now with climate change and all the issues we're facing, that now's the most important time to get involved and to use our voice as young people to influence what we want to see for our futures.
Welcome everybody to this Facebook live streaming at the Youth Island just outside of Copenhagen. We are gathered 200 young Europeans for a weekend of discussions, workshop and presenting a youth manifest about the future of Europe. We will start in a minute. There will be keynote speakers and speeches from the Danish Prime Minister, EU Commissioner Margrethe Vestager and so on. So please stay tuned and welcome to the Youth Island and the Young Europe is Voting Youth Summit in Copenhagen.
And you know, if there's anything my generation and the older generation needs, it is for you to set an example. So let us show us that now is the time for each and everyone running for office in the European election, that you will show the way to take responsibility to form our future. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming.
I think these politicians show up today to show that they're engaged and that they care about our voices and our opinions. They want to listen to us and understand our opinions and what we think about EU.
First we will write vote, and afterwards we'll write what I told you in the morning. This we care, we dare. The tea is right there where you are. Sign as well. After you go to the E, too messy and you see people coming now. Guys, please walk up that way. Thank you.
Therefore, we demand a greater representation of the youth in the political debate and decision-making.
We've finally come up with one single manifesto that contains all of our views and what we think as youth right now are the main issues that we want to tackle and we want politicians to tackle. We've decided to call it by its Danish name, so Ungdomsøen Manifesto.
This is what democracy looks like! Tell me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! Tell me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! Tell me what democracy looks like! This is what
right now the politicians are carrying what were originally, I guess, ideas that people had in their heads about weights and pressures that they had on their shoulders, but they've made it on a more literal sense, that they're actually carrying these weights that young Europeans are facing.
Good job, guys!
Good job.
Because we as the European youth, we can't handle this alone. We can't carry this. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to us.
And I think our voices are powerful when we can take part in a project like this. That we have worked so hard on these topics, and they were impressed, the Danish MEPs, and I think that tells something. It was some kind of revolutionary. We could dream the biggest dream I ever dreamt on this island, and the change I want to see in society. And I feel powerful after this weekend. And I think that every young person in Europe should somehow take part in a political conversation, no matter what they want to vote, but just take part in a conversation, meet up with other people who are passionate about the same thing as you, and then work for the change you want to see in society.
Europe is changing.
It's time to act, because
the future is yours!
200 youth from all over Europe have gathered on a small island in Denmark to discuss the big questions and manifest 5 political visions for the future of Europe. By inviting prominent politicians and leading candidates for the EP elections and present our 5 visions to make them face our reality, my future, your future.
We demand our voices to be heard.
Because we are the leaders of tomorrow, and this time,
Young Europe is voting!
Join the movement. Vote.